Hello and welcome to this episode where I'm going to be talking to you all about getting consistent sales. So I want to share with you in this episode 5 ways to increase your consistent sales. But before we get into it, I want to share with you what exactly is consistent sales, why I launched a mastermind based around sustaining consistent sales, and then my 5 tips on how to make those sales consistently. So let's get right into it. So basically, what is consistent sales? What does that look like? Because I say this a lot and people talk about this, and consistency with something is not about something happening all of the time. It's more so something happening on a regular basis, and consistency is different to us all. So when we are creating content consistently, for some people that might be 3 posts per week. For other people that might be 30 posts per week, but it's you choose your consistency. So with consistent sales, deciding how many sales you want to get or how much income you want to generate on a regular basis. So this could be daily, weekly, monthly, what that looks like for you, and then making it happen. So, for example, consistently selling can look like different things. So, for example, for me, I have people entering in my programs. They may take a payment plan. So every week, every month, I'm generating income, but then I might sell something new during that time so that I stack my income, which is for me what is the beauty of consistently selling, but also making money and earning from your business. So consistent sales is about seeing that money come in on a regular basis from new sales that you're making to increase your income. And we can do it in different ways. And I love that I get to teach this inside my mastermind. So I launched a mastermind based around this, and it's called Sustainable Sales, which is about sustaining that consistent selling, because I know that sales is a massive goal for most business owners, and so I wanted to support this. And the way I have skills in business organization, business management, help actually create those consistent sales, because when you become consistent, selling becomes consistent, the results become consistent. And that means that you can then build a business that's sustainable, so that sustains profit and income. So what I mean by that is, for example, I've done this with my mastermind. I've launched Sustainable Sales, the mastermind, and I have payment plans for that. So clients come in, work with me for 6 months, and they have a payment plan. So I know for 6 months, at a minimum, I am making money. So that might be one sale, but I make money for 6 months, which means that I sustain profit. Maybe I should have called it profit sustainment or something, but that is what we do. But it's about also, while we sustain that profit from them 6 months, it's still bringing in more sales consistently, so that I can increase my income and so that I can make even more profit and continue to keep the ball rolling with that, basically. So that's what that looks like. And that's why I launched the mastermind, because I know that sales is important, but what's also important is not just about getting those sales 1 week or for 1 month and being a success for 1 month. Like, I remember when I had my first £2,000 income month, but it took me ages to do that again. And I don't want that to happen for anyone where it's a one-hit wonder. We want this to be consistent, where we get those kind of sales all of the time, so that we're at a point where it becomes predictable, that becomes where we can see our gaps, where we can fill those gaps, and where we can adjust based on what we need. And then we have more clarity around what's happening, so we can take action based on that. And that's what that's all about, because I want business to become easier, I want it to become simple, and I want it to still deliver money for you consistently, which is why I created Sustainable Sales, the mastermind. Okay, so my ways to make consistent sales. Here we go. Let's get into it. I did make some notes before this because I just wanted to make sure I was really clear on how I can share these tips with you effectively. So I've got 5. 5 we're going to work through, 5 we're going to talk through. The first one is to basically make consistent sales, or sales on a consistent basis, should I say, is repetition and consistency. So remember, I did say what is consistent to you. Really get clear around what that is, so that then you can think about how you can use that and be repetitive. So repetition serves you so well in anything you do in your business. So that can be as with anything. It can be repeating your content, repeating launches, and repeating your message, repeating guest expert slots that you do, whatever it is that you inject into your business, how can you take what you've already got and repeat that? Because something that you've done really well, you may as well do it again so it can breed the same results. So, for example, I am a model of this myself. I do my sustainable sales mastermind launch. I do it every 3 months, and that's what I am doing for 2024. And so what's happening is I'm repeating it, doing it. I've done it in, I think it was September 2023. I'm about to do it again, January 2024. And that breeds the results consistently because of that repetition. I'm taking something I've already created and done successfully and repeating the process. So the first tip for getting consistent sales is look at how you can use repetition in your business. Okay? Really, really important. And I don't hear people say it enough. So this can be repeating launches, repeating campaigns, repeating plans, repeating content, whatever you can do, repetition serves you. My second tip for getting sales consistently is to implement lead generation strategy so that you always get new leads to sell to, because I see this a lot. One of the biggest things is that audience growth is not happening, which means that you're selling to the same group of people, which is okay because we do need the same people to hear our message consistently in order to get the sale. But what we also need is fresh blood all of the time. So make sure that you've got a lead generation strategy in place, because this will help with your sales in future, and what you do now serves you in future. So having a lead generation strategy implemented means that you're always getting fresh new people into your world that you can nurture and serve so that they will eventually buy from you. And some leads take time to nurture and, take that next step. I've had a conversation just this week with a lady who's been in my world since I started, but she said to me, look, got this money and I may as well invest it in one of your bigger programs while I can. And I'm so on board with that. And I'm so glad she's decided to do that, because it serves her well, and recognizing what is going to make a difference is so powerful. So it takes a while. It's taken us nearly 3 years, and so it might take that for someone. For you, it might take 3 months, it might take 3 years, but the key thing is here that you're consistently doing what you're doing, but generating new leads in the meantime. So whereas it's taken us 3 years to get to this point, I've someone who's followed me for like 2 months and come and jumped in and been a one-to-one client. So everybody's at different stages and it takes everybody different time. So while we are waiting for those that have been in our world a while, we need to bring in fresh blood. We need to bring in new people so that we can nurture, get to know, build relationships with, and, take on a journey to becoming a client. So definitely always implement a lead generation strategy. Okay, tip number 3. Bit of an obvious one, but continue to actually sell. And I say this a lot because it's obvious, that you're not going to get sales if you're not selling. But I also see a lot that people do not sell at all or enough. So, don't do that. Don't sit there and not sell and then wonder why you're not getting sales consistently. The consistently thing is about you being consistent in order to get the sales on a consistent basis. So if you're not getting sales consistently, I would like you to challenge yourself and ask yourself, why is that not happening? And look at your business as a whole and ask yourself, am I actually selling consistently? So look at your social media content, look at your website, look at what's available, where you're showing up. Are you using opportunities to actually sell and put that message out there that you are open, the doors are open and you can buy from me? Have a look and see what's coming out, see what's happening. So if you look back over the last 7 days and you can only find one sales post on social media, maybe it's time to do something about that. Maybe it's time to increase how much you are actually selling to your audience. So definitely one to think about, because if we don't actually sell, we're not going to get consistent sales. Okay, so definitely give that one a go. Number 4, offer add-ons or upsells to existing clients, offer your existing packages or services. So no matter what it is that you do, 9 times out of 10, I bet you can find something that goes along with it that you already have that could make a really good package deal. So one example of this is when you go to the cinema and you go buy popcorn, you only intend on buying a popcorn, but then they might have a deal where it's popcorn and a drink, so you spend more money. That is exactly what we're doing for our clients. We're giving them what they need, because think about it, when you go into the cinema, you're going to sit for a couple of hours watching a film and the adverts, you're going to be eating that salty popcorn, you're going to get thirsty. So them upselling as a drink benefits us. And that's exactly what you do when it comes to sales and delivering what you deliver to your clients. So think about, what is it that you're already selling? What can you add on that is going to improve their experience or how they work with you, or that's going to benefit them? So you're not actually just selling, you're serving them. Always see it from a place of serving. So what can you add on? What can you upsell? And when I say upsell, it's not just about they're buying this thing right now and I'm going to sell this thing to them right now. It could be 3 months later. It could be when they finish working with you. It could be following up and getting them to come back. However that looks for your business model and depending on what you do, but always think about what the way is that you can continue to sell through add-ons and upsells to better serve your client. And that will bring you more sales and it will bring you more money. And it's a win-win for everybody because they get what they need. Everybody's happy. And that's what we want. And my fifth and final tip is to have a downsell on your launches or after a marketing campaign. So I've never heard this recommended anywhere else before. And it's something I came up with myself. So you heard it here first. And it's something I've put into practice in 2023. And I'm really, really going to establish this as a strategy in 2024. Because if you have something that you've been selling and maybe you've had a lot of interest, but especially if it's a high ticket service and then people are not biting, obviously you say you will have clients biting, but say there's loads of people that are kind of in the background that are interested, but they're not biting, they've not jumped off the fence and they've not come to work with you. So what can we do with those people? Because they're still super engaged, they're still really interested, but for some reason there is a barrier to them coming to buy from you and work from you. So what we can then do is have a secondary offer after the launch or after your marketing campaign that they can then jump into, because they've already seen what you can do. They already know that you're right for them. They already know that you're amazing, but whatever block is stopping them from moving forward, in my case, it's usually money, then offer something different. So offering something that still helps following what you've just talked about. So I model this for myself. The way I've done it this year is I've had my Mastermind launches, which is like one of my biggest programs. That and my one-to-one are my 2 biggest offerings. And after that, I then did a downsell with my membership. Worked really, really well last year. And I had a lot of people come into my membership because they're like, wow, that is so affordable. That is easy for me to join, compared to the Mastermind where they was feeling overwhelmed and like they really needed it, but they couldn't invest at that level, which is great because then they're aware of what their needs are right now and they can dip their toe into working with me inside the membership. And that's exactly what happened. So having a downsell after your launch has happened and after a marketing campaign works really, really well. And it's something I'm going to continue to do moving forward. So something that ties in nicely secondary to that offer that you can follow it up with and doing it on a regular basis. So that not only are you getting consistent sales from the big things that you're doing and using that repetition, like I said, but you are funneling people in on the journey and it works really, really well. So I'm just going to recap the 5 tips that I've shared. So number 1, repetition and consistency will get you more consistent sales. Number 2, implement lead generation so you've always got new leads to sell to. Number 3, continue to sell. Obvious, but yeah, people don't do it, so make sure you are continuing to sell. Number 4, offer add-ons or upsells to existing clients. And number 5, have a downsell on your launches or after your marketing campaigns. Give those a go, and if you do give them a go, let me know how you're doing. As always, tag me in social media when you've listened to this episode and let me know how you get on. So in this episode, we've talked about what consistent sales are, what that looks like, why I launched a mastermind based around sustaining consistent sales. So if you do want more information on my mastermind, it is in the description, the show notes, for you to go and have a look at. Do have a look, and you can book in a free clarity call with me to discuss if this is the right option for you. And finally, I've shared with you my ways to make consistent sales. So I hope these 5 tips have been really, really useful. Go and take them away and implement them. And I'll see you again in another episode really, really soon with more great value content that's going to help you grow your business. See you soon.